Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Wealthy Dentist Podcast. I'm your host, Ward Powell. And if you're a dentist looking to crack the code on how to grow your practice and dominate in this space, then stick around. You're in the right place. Every week, we're sitting down with some amazing dentists who are doing incredible things in their businesses. We're talking about everything from how they keep their teams loyal and dedicated to how they stay ahead of the game in this crazy, fast-changing industry. You'll hear about hacks like using virtual assistants to free up your time, strategies to make more sales with less effort, and even mind-blowing stories about patents and inventions that are changing the industry as we know it. And it's not just about growing your practice, it's also about finding out what works from a clinical perspective. Whether you're just starting or you're ready to scale to the next level, there's something here for you. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in. Well, thank you so much, Kathryn Alderman. Thank you for joining the Wealthy Dentist Podcast today. We're so glad to have you. So how are you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. I'm doing really well. I love that I read your book last night, and I loved our discussion about your book prior to us, getting on the camera. But I loved the book, and I would love to talk about how dentists can create wealth and true wealth.
Awesome. So that's you're in the right place for that, no question about it. Before we go into that, let me ask you, so what drew you into the dentist industry in the first place?
Since we're on a podcast to talk about wealth, I'm just going to be very real. I went to dentistry to create just a beginning where I can create an investment to build something bigger, to build a bigger platform, real estate investments, and really grow into something bigger than just seeing dentistry and doing dentistry 8 to 5. So I went to dentistry knowing that it will be my stepping stone to doing things that will give me true wealth.
Excellent. And I also noticed that you in your second year, you actually started a startup. Tell me a little bit about that in your second year of dental school.
Yeah, so a lot of people are afraid of startups and they're afraid to do a startup in the industry, which I can understand. It's challenging, but when you do a startup and if you do it right, it will give you the biggest ROI. So it will give you the biggest return on your investment of time, energy, and money if you do it well. So if you start seeing patients right away, if you become cash flowing, if you become profitable very quickly, doing a startup is a great way to create a big value for your dental practice. So I always thought it was the best to do startups than to buy seasoned practice. And again, there are pros and cons to every model, but I chose to do the startups. And I'm changing that model. I'm actually changing that model now after doing this for 20 years. But I'm changing the model how I can become ultra successful managing dental practices. And it's actually not doing startups at this point, but I started with the startups.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I'm wondering, how did you manage to do the startup while in dentist school? I mean, like you really had to do, I mean, that sounds like a lot of work in and of itself. Tell me about that.
Well, I wasn't alone. My husband is a dentist as well, so that was something that we did together. But really, I wasn't just a dental student doing it by myself. So I had help, and I wasn't alone doing it. But really, I always thought that's the only models that I knew. And I did 7 startups. And now I don't want to do startups for a while because of a labor cost, but mostly because of a construction cost and a land cost and an interest rate. It's not a good model anymore. Actually, can we talk about the better model? Can we talk
Absolutely,
about the better
sure.
model is not to do a startup right now unless you can find a great location, a great place where it's not expensive for you lease or not expensive for to build that startup. But really, great model right now is that a lot of dentists have problems with the cash flow, and they experience challenges and growth. So the best model is to actually partner with a dentist that do love dentistry, but they do need that support because they're just, they love dentistry, they love what they're doing, but they really may have a difficult time managing the rising cost of labor, the rising cost of maintenance and dental labs bills and all expenses that come along in dentistry. So this is really the best model for right now. It may change in a few months, but right now is really partnering with those dental practices, helping them to succeed and really creating a situation where it's a win-win, and together with those partners, we create practices that become ultra successful and profitable.
Mm-hmm. So when you say partnering with, as a dentist, I'm gonna say I'm an owner of dentist who may be considering partnership. Who would I partnership with?
Well, I would love ideally for you to partner with me,
Okay.
because really, but there are multiple organizations that offer partnership. When you choose to partner with a support organization, you really have to be able to know what you're getting into, because it is a partnership, and partnership, I always say, it's like a version of a marriage. So you really want to be careful who you're partnering with. The best way to know is really to communicate. But a lot of times people can say what you want to hear, but really they may not be able to deliver and execute on their promise. So the best thing to do is really research existing partnerships and to get a feedback on how that's going. So really, my recommendation is, when you do decide to partner, don't just listen to, the sale pitch and the promises, but really look at the results of their work by talking to the existing partners and see how that's going. Because a lot of times that's the best way to approach that. So there are plenty of organizations that offer partnership, but again, you have to be careful to choose what is really can align with your goals, align with your personality, and align with your philosophy as well. So there is a lot of choices to choose from. You just have to choose what is right for you. It's just like a marriage, just like a dating. It's like you have to, not every choice will be right choice for you. So you have to choose what is right for you.
Oh, that's interesting. So when you say there's a lot of different partnerships
Oh, yeah.
to get to, I would assume that the menus are different, if you pardon that expression. The kind of choices within a organization's, I guess, layout of services may differ from one to the other.
Yes and no, because we ultimately solve the same problems. We ultimately, all dental support organizations really look at the most common areas of support. And that common areas of support is accounting, IT, revenue management, marketing, and also HR. So there was common areas that are common in every business. That's universal areas to almost any business, but in dentistry was areas that require support that are really the same from practice to practice. So it's really the terms of that partnership and really the extent of support, that's what varies. That's where you need to look at. But ultimately, I would say That's the most common areas.
Okay, so what would make one particular DSO any better than the next? I mean, how does one differentiate, figure out which one is really good for them?
Well, again, it goes back on a personal preference, and it goes back, but again, you got to be careful because anybody can tell you what they can do, but the question, will they do it? Will they deliver it? And truly, so you really have to, if a dentist is thinking to join dental support organization, they have to do what we call reverse engineering. They have to know what they want, what kind of outcome they want, and then they can see if the support organization can offer it to them. For example, the dentist will say that I want to stay for 3 to 5 years, and this is the areas of my business where I need support. And this is how much I want to get paid. And this is how many days I want for vacations. And this is what I would like to see as my monthly income. And then you have to go backwards and see if that can be achieved by joining organization. Because again, maybe some of that need to be negotiable, there may be compromise, there must be some terms that need to be discussed, but ultimately you have to know what you want, and then you have to be really able to communicate it and to be able to see if the company can offer it to you.
Also, the engineer of itself is pretty much based on how well the dentist is doing, how, again, maybe they are, how much influence they have with their clients and whatever have you, is going to help the DSO, their partner, whomever, come in and really figure out what they could do to scale the business.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, and there is a lot of dentists that will disagree, but I do think it's extremely difficult to be a business owner in dentistry unless you have a solid business skills or business education, and you have time to work on your business and not just work in a business. Because most dentists are brilliant, most dentists are super smart, they're caring, they're giving, they want to succeed, but they have to work in a business. They don't have time to work on a business. And then you add children, families, just the normal life demands, and a dentist just doesn't have time and energy and often skills to work on a business, because all of the energy and time goes to work in a business. So this is really a big problem in dentistry. And, when we come out of a dental school, we think, oh, we got it. We love dentistry. We love patients, and we will do really well. That's not the case. And especially now, and especially after the COVID, and especially since the labor market has changed, since the cost of running a dental office is much higher. So truly, really, to do well in dentistry, you really have to know how to work on your business and not just in it. And you have to understand how to run that business. And truly, if you don't know or you don't have time, that's where it's the best to partner with business organizations. They do offer that business support. But again, not every business organization, support organization will be right fit. But I believe it's healthy to have a business support. I believe that it's super healthy to partner and have somebody to hold your hand and be your cheerleader and really support you in every possible way. Like, I believe it's really, really healthy. And I believe that's really creates a very balanced lifestyle where you can do dentistry and do what you love, and then you get that support. And I want to say something different. I'm a woman. So I really want to say it out there that being a dental support organization run by a woman is far different than one run by a man. And I will say it over and over and over. And again, there may be different. There may be men that will run it differently, but because of being a woman, you just understand the importance of that life-work balance. You understand the importance of taking time off. You understand all the demands that moms have and a guilt that moms have. So, it's no matter what, woman and a man running dental support organization, that just looks different. It just looks different. For example, most dental support organization, it is about EBITDA, it is about the numbers. But, it's like, for example, my support organization, it's really about creating that life-work balance and really giving you lives that you want. So, for example, when a dentist comes to me and says, I want to partner with you, it will be, okay, tell me what kind of life you want to have. Let's build it around your lifestyle. Let's build it so you can live your best life and still make money. Do you see? So that's really unique in a sense that, being a woman and, being a mom, being, knowing what it's like to be married, doing clinical dentistry, being a mom, and then I have to be business owner. It just makes it a different perspective that it's like, hey, I know what support means, and support to me means more than just providing marketing or HR or accounting. To me, support, it means like, let me support you so you can have your best life and yet you can make money. So, and again, there is a lot of people that will not agree with me, but I believe I'm onto something.
Yeah, well, I can see that. I mean, guys are not like nurturers like women are. Women nurturers, they give their support a lot differently than guys. No.
And that's what it is. It's what it is. We have to look at physiology of a female versus a male. Like,
Yeah.
I am all about support. Like, oh my gosh, how can I make you feel more comfortable?
Right.
How can I support you? How can I make your life better?
Right.
Well, I can do it with my kids. I can do it, with the people that I love. And of course, when the organizations or when dental practices join my network, of course, my, first instinct and first goal is, how can I support you? How can I make your life better? And really, there is no dental support organizations run by females at this point. I will be the first dental support organization run by female at a bigger scale. I'm not aware of it. Maybe there is one, but I'm not aware of that there is a big dental support organization that is run by female. And I'm not aware of it. Are you aware of one? I'm not.
No.
No, I'm not. So, and again, that's been kind of my philosophy of how to support organizations and how to support dentists. But I believe I'm onto something. I believe I'm onto something.
I agree, indeed. So, what have you noticed on the horizon in terms of technology in the space?
Big one is the AI. I'm not sure if you know, but I'm a big AI person. I'm really on the front line of AI development. So, and again, the reason I kind of got into AI because as a business owner and as a CEO, I can relate to any problems that every business person, business owner, all administrator, or just even team members can feel in the industry. So I felt the pain. I know what it's like. So throughout my career, I always looked for solutions to support the teams, to make everything better, easier, more optimized. So when AI came in, it was just like a Christmas every day. I felt like when AI revolution started, which is considered the fourth revolution, AI era is considered the fourth industrial revolution. That's what it's considered. So when that started, with a public release of ChatGPT. So officially it started with a public release of ChatGPT. I thought, oh my gosh, my life just changed. My life changed. And I have to say, I still feel it every single day. I feel every single day that AI is giving me competitive advantage in, just making my list shorter, easier to handle, and really it's making running dental offices easier, supporting dental offices easier. So AI, my passion for AI is almost like I'm grateful for this solution because I needed something to help me to, supporting dentists easier, and AI just gives me that tool. AI gives me that power to support dentists and dental teams that are much faster and more efficient and just better ways. So that's so AI. So I would say AI, definitely AI, no question AI, because AI can really support you in a clinical, administrative, business areas. Now I'm actually developing AI receptionist. I'm not developing it, my team developing it, I'm not. But so really AI, I would say, is the most promising, and not only promising, it's actually delivering results consistently and adding tools to our support area almost weekly now. So AI.
Yeah, I see. So could you give us an example specifically how you've been able to use AI in your business and help other dentists?
Yes, well, the most straightforward, I would say, is that what most dentists use now is AI to analyze X-rays. That's really helpful. I do think that's very helpful, and not all the dentists are using it, but it's very helpful because it allows us to have another set of eyes on potential cavities or gum disease. And again, we should never rely on AI, but it gives us another set of eyes to help us so we don't miss the decay, don't miss dental problems, and offer that high quality care. That's I would say the most straightforward, the ones that's the most developed. But really, we can use it for marketing. We can use it for marketing, from making websites to making posts, to making videos, to making designs, logos, you name it. We can also use it, obviously, as chatbots, AI generative agents. That's huge. Really, that's almost becomes a standard that we want AI agents to help us to answer phone calls, common inquiries, and really not to miss was questions from prospective patients. You have to think that patients are becoming used to and accustomed. They expect the answers 24/7. They expect answers and a customer service on demand. So AI allows us to serve patients and to help patients to find answers to commonly asked questions, to schedule appointments. It allows us to offer that service to patients 24/7. And another one, analyzing business stats and really helping us to understand the best strategies in operations and how to succeed in a dental office. This is my favorite. You will love it. You can use an AI. You can upload your profit and loss statements, your tax reports, you name it. You can upload your key performance indicators. You can upload anything you want, and AI can help you analyze. So, for example, if dentists don't have enough knowledge and business skills, or maybe they don't understand what is the best, AI can help to make those business strategic decisions and help you to lay out a roadmap to help you to even to suggest on how to proceed or what steps to take to improve your numbers, which was never available before. Before, you had to take and hire a consultant and pay a lot of money. You don't have to do that now. You can, and again, there is a place and time for consultants. I'm a consultant as well. There is a place and time, but again, it just gives you that quick reference, that quick guidance, that quick consultations that you can use to make strategic decisions for your business, for your practice.
So I would assume then you do a lot of work with prompt engineering and maybe possibly getting the client, the dentist, familiar with using these prompts to get the results that they want.
Yes, and that's very hard. I don't like when it's like I have to read the prompts. To me, that's like more work to read the prompts. Like to me, when somebody says, this is how you create a prompts, to me, that's very exhausting. I don't want to read somebody's work on how to get the prompts. That's really, so my best advice for the dentist, or the practice administrator, have a problem, define the problems that you have. Then go to AI platforms. The most common AI platforms that we use, there are 4 common platforms, and I can describe it later. But let's say you will go to most common platform, ChatGPT. ChatGPT has actually multiple platforms that you can use. Let's say it's not just ChatGPT. There is multiple ChatGPTs developed at this point. But bottom line, let's say you have a problem. Instead of using a certain prompt, my best advice for everybody, just start using it. Just start talking to it. Start talking to it like you would talk to your mom. Like, Mom, I have a problem. This is what I have. I have this situation here. How do I solve it? And that's my best advice. Just, obviously you don't have to tell ChatGPT, Mom, don't say that. But I'm just saying, go to ChatGPT and literally describe the problems that you have. Or describe what you need a solution with. Literally, I need help. I have this patient, and the patient came in and paid this amount, but the treatment failed. And now I need to write a letter to the patient that is really nice and empathetic, but basically I don't want to give money back to the patient. Boom. Like, your AI will help you to create that letter. And I'm just giving an example, a rough example, but what I'm saying is that just start using it and see how it can solve your problems, and really throw anything at it and see how it will do back. So it's not about learning to create prompts. It's about knowing and not afraid to use AI and asking it and learning how it will help you to solve your problem. Does it make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You want to just be detailed. That's what I
Be
get.
detailed. That's it. Be
Yeah.
detailed. Don't worry about the prompts. Don't worry about creating prompts. Really, just describe your problem. Just describe what you need help with. That's it. And then describe more. And then describe another problem. And then put another task in that you need help with. And that's how you will learn to really use AI to your advantage to make your to-do list shorter and more manageable, not just in dentistry, but in life as well.
So you get a chance to maybe even layer your questions so that you stack them,
Start with easy. Yes, start with easy, introduce it. It's like almost like you talking to a professional, or maybe you're talking to your mom, but maybe you need more of a professional opinion, and you just start introducing your problem and layering. Yes, that's a good one. Good job. That's a good one.
Well, you're doing a great job in explaining this. This is great. I'm enjoying this. So then now with AI, discussed briefly, because I know you can probably talk about this forever. So what would you say are some of the myths about dentistry that you would want to debunk?
With bread and butter dentistry. bread and butter dentistry. I would love to talk about bread and butter dentistry. People say, I just do bread and butter dentistry and I do really well. Are you? Are you really? Are you exhausted? Are you 60 and you look 85? Really, how is it really bread and butter dentistry and if like bread and butter dentistry at insurance prices? Let's clarify it. Bread and butter dentistry, but insurance prices, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So it's a lot of work. It's hard to get a cash flow. It's hard to be profitable. So truly, the times have changed, and really, bread and butter dentistry is really hard dentistry with taking insurance. So, and here's why, because the expenses for labor have skyrocketed. The expenses for supplies have skyrocketed. So bread and butter dentistry at insurance prices, keeping in mind insurance prices have not really changed, is a lot of work. So my best advice is that's a myth. That's a myth. We really need to learn more specialized procedures like Invisalign or implant placement or specialized gum treatment. Again, that has to depend on a dentist's skills and their preferences and their passion, but they really need to learn procedures that they don't have to, be covered by insurance, or just higher end procedures. And they have to understand that even during recession, even during difficult economic situations, there is always patients that want those procedures. That's and another myth that dentistry, I would say I will keep it at that. That's what I would say is the biggest myth that I hear. And I always like to say, bread and butter dentistry, it's a really, really hard dentistry, especially if you take insurances. It's really, you have to see a lot of patients, you have to run around, you're exhausted and tired, and it's definitely higher burnout rates, and overall is just not as profitable as maybe just into a model where you do more specialized procedures.
Yeah, that would be fee for service, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
obviously, you can correct me if I'm wrong. When you do, because you have, the things that you want to see in a dental organization that's looking for a partnership, if you will. And if they don't fit some of the guidelines that you have, that you think that is going to make them profitable. In other words, if they were doing so much, quote unquote, bread butter dentistry, there might be some pushback on your end to even do a deal if you see that this is not going to work for the
I wouldn't invite them. I wouldn't partner with them. I wouldn't, like, if somebody comes in and says, I only want to do bread and butter dentistry, it's not a right fit, because it's not a right fit. I just won't be able to work with them. To me, for multiple reasons, I won't be able to do that, just because, it's like you can't, my business model is that you really want to have a great lifestyle. I want the dentist to look great, not to age fast. I want them to feel good about how they look, how they feel, and I want them to really have the best lives that they can have. Obviously, I don't have a control over their life, but I want to give them a chance where the work doesn't take over their life. And I can only do that by creating a model where they're profitable, where the revenue is high, where profits are high. And I can only do it if the dentist is willing to do and knows how to do, or willing to be trained to do more procedures at bread and butter dentistry. I know that with full confidence. That's so for me to offer that lifestyle and for me to offer that support and invite them to my group, I immediately look at what other procedures they can do. That's actually number one thing I look at. That's and if they don't, then I know that it's really not a great fit. But I would say not many dentists, and most dentists understand it and they want to learn. And most dentists want to expand their skills. They always want to learn. They always want to deliver more to the patient. So I don't see a lot of dentists that just want to do bread and butter dentistry. I don't see a lot of that.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Do you accept clients across the country? Are you international? I mean, what do you generally
Well,
find?
the best is obviously location is very important. And because I do offer, because my support system is really still, I go to the office and I work with my doctors and I work with my partners very closely. It has to be close to me at this point. So at this point of my development, it's 2 states, Nebraska and Florida. That's my areas of support. Saying that, the sky's the limit. We may have this conversation in 5 years and I will say that I'm in Texas and California, but right now I'm not. Right now, I really want to be close to the offices. I want to be able to step into the offices. I just want that extra connection and proximity to my locations.
Yeah, other than that, you wouldn't be able to nurture the way you want to, the way you were talking
You
about.
got it. You
Uh,
got it. And that's my goal. Yeah. So that's because of that. That's my areas of support at this point.
I understand, no problem. So
Mhm.
then, okay, so how many do you have, and how many what do you have a ceiling? How many?
Well, right now the goal is to have, I just exited one group that had 7 locations. Now the goal is to have to 10 locations in the next 5 years. So again, 10 locations, that's very, that's a very, that's not an aggressive plan at all. That's a very doable,
Realistic? Yeah.
realistic. But again, I know that for some dentists, they would say, I want to go to 20 and 30. For me, it's 10 because I know the support that I offer and how I function. I have to have that. I have to have that hands-on and proximity to my partners and my location. So because of that, I don't think I would want to go past 10 at this point in the next 5 years. But again, for me, that means that each location feels very supported, each dentist feels supported, and each dentist gets time. And really, again, the support is really centered around what that dentist needs. And for that, you cannot have, you can have 20, 30, 40 locations. I just don't see how I know that I couldn't. 10, not a big problem, not at all. You can do that with 10, but really, so 10 is my magic number. That's my magic number. But again, saying that, sky's the limit, but 10 is my limit and a goal right now.
So have you started thinking about, or have you thought about training someone that can create a double U, if you will? Like,
Not at this point. Not at this point. There is always, you still have to train people. You still have to train because you really, the best leaders create leaders. The best leader, my team is only going to be as good as my leaders are. So even through, I want 10 locations, that means that leadership team is a strong team. So my job is really to create leaders in a clinical positions, in a business positions, to make sure the dentist feel like a strong leader. So my job is actually to create leaders, to empower leaders. My job is not to supervise day-to-day operations or micromanage team. My job is to create leaders. And once you create leaders and once you create strong leaders, you can grow. But again, I'm comfortable with number 10. I'm very comfortable with a
Excellent.
number 10 because that's my model, and that's my model, and that's what I want to, that's what I'm doing right now.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So tell me then, how are things going to go in the future outside of you getting your 10? And I'm sure you're going to get your 10 new offices. What else is on the horizon outside of that? Anything?
All AI, and everybody's asking me, how can you do it? How can you do locations? How can you grow a dental group and develop AI? And I always say, I'm not developing AI, my team is. I'm just supervising it and directing it, but I'm not sitting there and developing my own AI. I'm not an engineer, I'm not a software engineer. So the big things that I'm working on again is supporting those dental offices, but not only utilizing AI platforms that are already present, but bringing my own AI product to support them as well. So that's a big thing. It's all about how can I support more? How can I support better and utilizing AI for that support as well? So that's my line of work, and that's what I do every single day now.
Awesome, awesome. Man, you have really given us a lot of great information about AI that I hadn't even really, I guess, experienced at this point. But as you mentioned, there's a lot out there, and we have to just dive in, just start using it. I'm totally like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we haven't spoke about? Because you've said a lot. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience that we have not shared?
Well, since we're talking about AI, obviously that's a big topic, and I would like to talk about AI. Number one, I give is, I would say, tip to all the practices. Start using AI now. AI is here. AI is not going to go anywhere. Start using AI, even in a small versions. For example, your team is using ChatGPT to edit their emails or to edit their text. Just start using AI, bring it to your office to some capacity, because the faster your team adjusts to AI, the more adaptable they will be as AI transforms every part of our life. But here's another thing I will say: don't bring too many changes. Do one thing at a time. Don't bring too many changes. Do it slow. Do one thing at a time, and let the team to adjust, and just let the team to adjust to one change at a time. So maybe practice owner or administrator will go to conference and listen to this podcast, and they will say, I am bringing AI next week, and it's great, but do one thing at a time, do it slow, and really implement things carefully.
Now, when you say do one thing at a time, what do you mean by that? Can you just
People don't like changes. So if we get excited and we start making too many changes, teams don't like it. So if
within the AI, I'm sorry, but within the AI field or area, this is where you're saying don't bring too many changes?
don't bring too many changes. If you bring in, for example, if you start using AI in a clinical area, wait on bringing AI to use over the phone as well. So that's really do one thing at a time. Let people get used to it. Let people get accustomed to that. Let them see the benefits of that, and then bring the next thing. But don't make more than one change at a time. Any change. Or if you already making a change in your office, don't bring an AI yet. Wait till people have time to get used to that change. So be careful with the change. If you implement anything new, be careful and do one thing at a time.
Well said, well said. If someone wanted to get in contact with you, how would they go about doing that?
LinkedIn is a big one. And I'm really on all social platforms. I can also be reached on Intelligent Care Alliance. intelligentcarealliance@gmail.com or intelligentcarealliance.com or Intelligent Care Alliance on a Facebook, Instagram, and really on a LinkedIn as well. So I'm very, very social, very reachable. If anybody wants to ask me questions or just pick my brain, I'm here. I love to connect, I love to share, and I love to support. I love to support.
Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Dr. Alderman, for coming in and speaking to the audience. I'm sure they're going to love this information that you so eagerly shared with us today. And hopefully we'll see each other again real soon, huh?
Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for sharing information that you shared about your book. And thank you for helping me to figure out what to do and how to know more about taxes and how to know what to know more about investments. So I'm really thankful to you for that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.